The federal government has released the first round of stimulus checks to help ease the financial strain of COVID-19.
A new program provides free fresh fruit and vegetables to families experiencing hardship in South LA.
Senator Elizabeth Warren endorses presidential candidate Joe Biden, saying he can rebuild the country.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
And we have testing available, so let's get our people out here, get tested, and find out where you stand so that you can make sure to help us fight this.
More COVID-19 testing centers opened in LA County today. Good evening. I'm Lauren LaBruna reporting from my home in Fullerton, California.
And I'm Noah Cameras reporting from my home in West Hills, California. Virus testing sites can process as many as 1,000 tests a day, depending on the location. Results are then returned in 3 to 5 days.
At LA County sites, we do an oral swab. It's self-administered. You stay in your vehicle the entire time. And it's really easy. You just take a test tube and a swab, and you swab the inside of your cheeks, both cheeks for 10 seconds, and then the roof of your mouth for 10 seconds. And even if you do receive a negative test result, we ask that you still maintain good physical distancing. There's no just walk-in, so you do have to register. You have to register online before you show up because we need to get that confirmation number to be able to tie to your testing kit.
You can register for free testing if you are an LA County resident or if you are having COVID-19 symptoms, which include a fever, cough, and shortness of breath. The county health director warned against test-related scams as antibody testing is not yet available for the public.
Please do not fall for the scams that are out there that offer you a serological test, an antibody test in your home. There are no FDA-approved home tests for antibodies. So I know there's a lot out there. It's sort of a little bit of a show and a game at this point, but I hope you all know if it's not an FDA-approved test, and if you're not working with your provider to determine whether you need to be tested, you should stay away from products that are marketed under false pretense.
The total number of COVID-19 cases in Los Angeles County today is just under 10,500. 402 people in the county have died. LA Mayor Eric Garcetti today said restrictions on large gatherings could remain in place until 2020-2021, saying, quote, "It's difficult to imagine us getting together in the thousands anytime soon, so I think we should all be prepared for that this year."
As COVID-19 continues to spread, Berkeley, Santa Barbara, and San Francisco are planning to use empty hotels to house the homeless, but some community leaders want more.
The first demand, we demand state, county, and city electeds act now to provide housing to all unhoused people in the hundreds of thousands of vacant hotels across the state for the health and safety of all Californians. 2, we demand that when opening these hotels to the unhoused, hotels will offer their out-of-work service employees the opportunity to reclaim their jobs. 3, we demand that the dignity and personal property rights of all individuals moved into hotel rooms must be respected.
Hi, I'm Jaewon Jung reporting from South Coast Plaza in Costa Mesa, California. This parking lot is usually jam-packed, but the stores and restaurant inside are as empty as this parking lot. South Coast Plaza is the biggest mall on the West Coast, and like the hundreds of people who work in this mall, I lost my job.
I filed for unemployment, but the notice I got from the Employment Development Department is far from clear. It says Notice of Unemployment Insurance Award, and no action is required to receive your benefits. But I haven't received a check or a debit card. I tried calling the customer service line, but after a short message, the automated call hangs up.
Thank you for calling the Employment Development Department Unemployment Insurance Office. All UI self-service options are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Thank you for calling. Goodbye.
Many are hoping to get the stimulus check in this week. It'll certainly help me with student loans, car payments, and phone bills. I also spoke with a friend and my mom about how they will spend the stimulus check.
So far, I'm working from home. They cut the whole company down to 16 hours, and I may have to file for unemployment pretty soon, but it would probably just go straight to just bills.
I'm unemployment right now, and also I'm the single mother. So yeah, it's very hard to make ends with rent, utility, kind of like that, groceries.
80 million Americans have set up direct deposit with the IRS, and the first wave of checks arrived last weekend. Some people will get up to $1,200 in relief. The IRS is also rolling out a new tool to help taxpayers track their payment.
I'm Trevor Denton reporting from Los Angeles. Right now, the National Restaurant Association is estimating that 5 to 7 million restaurant employees will be out of work by June due to the coronavirus. Ramey Cadell worked as a waiter at Morton's Steakhouse in downtown Los Angeles for the past year. Now he's unemployed, but today he received his $1,200 stimulus check from the government.
I am extremely appreciative and grateful for the time being, but I know looking into next month's rent and food and essential expenses that this bill isn't going to cut it for me.
Morton's owner Tillman Fertitta is donating $1 million to help out employees, but Cadell doesn't think the measure goes far enough.
We're a steakhouse, so obviously a lot of steak and protein, chicken, pork, fish that has a shelf life, and it would have been kind of cool to maybe see them offer some of that food up to their employees.
When restaurants do reopen, Cadell expects they'll take more precautions, like wearing gloves and keeping tables 6 feet apart. It may be a new reality, but Cadell hopes people return to their favorite restaurants.
I work for a large company, and I don't think that we're going to be going under anytime soon. But I do fear for some of my favorite restaurants in LA that are just starting up or that are a lot smaller.
Cadell planned to work in the restaurant business for the rest of his life, but now he's not so sure. For Annenberg Media, I'm Trevor Denton.
In an effort to help families struggling with financial hardships during the COVID-19 pandemic, LA County Supervisor Mark Ridley Thomas created the Farm Box Project. He shares what the project does and why it's important to help those in need during this crisis.
The spirit of volunteerism, the spirit of civic engagement pervades this environment. And we should never lose our sense of that because that's what makes communities tick for the good of all. Fresh fruit, fresh vegetables have been provided to 1,000 families, and we will do this every Wednesday, same time, same station. So those who want to be a part of this effort are certainly invited to do so.
Today we have a new segment called Cross Continental that takes a look at the steps that other nations have taken to combat COVID-19. I'm Amanda Anyoth-Young reporting from downtown Los Angeles. We spoke to a woman today who lives just outside of Paris about the strict measures that the French government has imposed. She also talked to us about how much she likes the national healthcare system.
You're allowed out once per day for a maximum of 1 hour. And you have this piece of paper that you have to kind of fill out that gives your address, your name, all your information, the different reasons why you're going outside. And so you can't go out for your 1 hour of exercise and run errands to get your groceries at the same time. The medical system here is incredible. So for example, I'm not afraid of getting this virus and not being able to pay for the treatment that I would get. I'd be afraid to survive it and whether or not there would be enough stuff to keep me alive. But I'm not as afraid as my family is at home in LA of how much it would cost to be in intensive care for 2 weeks minimum.
And of course, they don't have to worry about getting their daily bread because in France, bakeries are seen as an essential business.
While students are isolated at home, the director of programming at USC Cinema School created a new and interactive way to keep them connected to their film studies.
The idea was to do something modeled after a film called Life in a Day. And Life in a Day was a feature film released about 10 years ago where the filmmaker, Kevin McDonald, and the producer, Ridley Scott, invited amateur filmmakers from around the world to submit documentary footage of what their day was like on a very specific day of the year as sort of a time capsule for what life across the globe was like. But I thought that if we could do something like that with our students now as the second project, it would be something that they would edit together as a piece, like 3 minutes or something. And then we would actually just run it as a compilation. And that's more. And I also think that they are learning something by being challenged to work within these very specific parameters.
I'm Jordan Hunter reporting from Sacramento, California. While the coronavirus pandemic has stopped the play of sports, it has not stopped USC recruiting. Narbonne defensive athlete Anthony Beavers has committed to the Trojans earlier this afternoon with just 2 simple words.
Fight on, no cap. Oh, man. Fight on, no cap.
Beavers is a top 200 recruit and the 7th commitment for USC's 2021 class, which ranks first in the Pac-12. Earlier today, Dr. Anthony Fauci spoke with Snapchat's Peter Hamby and said there is a way to resume sports with specific guidelines. Fauci said, "There's a way of doing that. Nobody comes to the stadium. Put them in big hotels wherever you want to play. Keep them very well surveilled. Have them tested like every week and make sure they don't wind up infecting each other or their family, and just let the season play out." Fauci is one of the nation's top disease experts and has been a leading health advisor for President Trump's coronavirus task force. Many sports are figuring out ways to start or continue their seasons. The PGA Tour might have found their tee time in June. PGA Tour officials are expecting to announce a return to action on June 11th with the 4-day Charles Schwab Challenge in Fort Worth, Texas. It is also expected that fans will not be allowed to attend the tournament. PGA CEO Seth Waugh said yesterday, "If the safest and or only ways to do it without fans, we're fully prepared to do that. We believe that having it as a television event is worth doing regardless of whether there's fans or not." The June 11 tournament would mark almost exactly 3 months since the PGA Tour was put on hold after round 1 of the Players' Championship.
Senator Elizabeth Warren endorsed Joe Biden for president today. She is the last of Biden's former Democratic rivals to back the vice president's candidacy.
And that's why I'm proud to endorse Joe Biden as President of the United States. Joe Biden is a selfless public servant. He is committed to the fight for social, racial, and economic justice. Joe Biden will lead a government that works for the American people. And now it's up to all of us to help make Joe Biden the next president of the United States.
Healthcare workers battling on the front lines of COVID-19 will get a vitamin C boost. The company known for its mandarin oranges called Cuties is donating 2.5 million of the tiny but tasty fruits. Starting tomorrow, 28 Southern California hospitals will be getting the snacks. They include USC Hospital, Verdugo Hills in Glendale, UCLA Harbor Hospital, and Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. So Lauren, what have you been doing to kind of keep yourself busy during this quarantine?
I've been spending a lot of time with my family and also reading, which is really nice because I love reading, but I don't have as much time as I would like to usually during the school year. So it's been nice. How about you?
Yeah, a lot of time hanging out with my family. I've been trying to talk to as many friends as I can virtually to kind of stay connected, but it is a little hard. But I have been spending a lot of time with family, which has been really, really nice. We've done a lot of like watching old home videos, which have been really cute. A good way to get through. Thank you so much for watching. We will continue to post newscasts here on the Annenberg Media YouTube channel.
And for more coverage on COVID-19, head to uscannenbergmedia.com. Have a good night.